Yo, yo.
Yo. Alright.
Mic check, mic check.
Let's kick it off. This is the Playins.
Mic check. Ian, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Mic check.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Alright, we're good then. What's going on, Pokemon League Championship fans? It's me, Mura, aka your CEO, and player in one of these play-in matches. So I've got with me one of the oldest of OGs, Jay.
Yo, I feel like I haven't been here throughout the entire season. It's the first time I'm on for this season. I just realized that. I'm sorry about that.
Nah, it's cool. I thought you were on like one other day, but I'm probably wrong.
Nah, last time I commented was last year's finals, and we all know how that went.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully we don't have any repeat RNG this year.
Or this week, even, you know.
Yeah,
more than likely not, to be honest with you. But it's always a chance, you know. This is the game we play.
There is a chance for that. What was I gonna say? Obviously, we're gonna lead off with Ty and Mike. I think that kind of goes without saying. But it is a short stream today, guys. Jay, if you have time and are down, I know you got kind of a schedule crunch. If you want, we could throw a live one after these two matches. If not, that's totally cool.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's get back. I mean, fuck it, straight in, right? Like.
Wait. Let me take this to idolize these teams. These very powerful teams. You know, Ian, as you know, did have I don't like to call it the feud on the week, but it is kind of like the feud on the week. And we did see some big moves, and with, you know, the missing of the podcast, we did see a lot of moves that maybe just didn't go noticed. One of the biggest things, in my opinion, is Mike picking up this Calyrex. Look at this team, bro. Look at this team. Yeah. Trick Room domination. So many threats. Once that Trick Room goes up, has the Charcoal and the Torkoal to spam those eruptions. Dracovish is always a beast. The Fish's friend's gonna hurt. Zamazensa, man.
It's such a good Trick Room team. Like, it's really where everyone ate me alive. Yeah, we did eat you alive, didn't we? No, I don't think. I think Speakman and Justin's team got ate the most. But neither here nor there. We did go through Feed on the Week, which is, as it's colloquially known here in the PLC, it essentially is a week. We actually had to adjust it like a couple seasons back to make it so that like players who were eliminated can't trade on the last week. And that kind of just made them trade the week before, but it gives less chance for people to make a super broken squad at the end, because when eliminated players get eliminated, we move their teams to the wire, and yeah, everybody has a shot. It's fair that way. Mike definitely took advantage of it. You're 100% on the money with his team. This is like probably one of the best Trick Room teams I've ever seen.
100%. Love the mentor on the Calyrex, just in case, you know, Ty has to go for the taunt. Obviously in team preview, you already know what Mike wants to go for, and Mike is obviously broadcasting that he wants to go for the Trick Room, just having the mentor versus clutch. Necrozma as well can also set up Trick Room. It's always scary when you have the big threats that could like do supports but still do a lot of damage, and I think that's what like a lot of his asterisks excel at. Yeah. Looking at Ty's team, still a lot of great Pokemon. Just feels like I've seen these exact 6 numerous times, but doesn't mean they're a bad 6.
Yeah.
Just that it does kind of feel like we have seen this before, but it's still a good team. It's like Sogaleo hits extremely hard. He's not going to die in one hit. Salazo's just a great fast support. If he wants to shut down, the sun, he has Wheezing to, stop the drought. Could also stop the Strongjaw on the Jacob and the Prankster on the Grimmsnarl and things like that. And of course, he has his Rain, Tapu Bulu. I like Bulu. A lot of people don't like Bulu. I think Bulu's cool. I just wish it got like a fairy stab at some point.
Right.
And we have Palkia. Palkia for Ty. He let it go for a couple weeks and he got it back. I remember I was talking to you about this. Did it feel like when he let Palkia go, his team kind of struggled a bit? Cause I feel like that Pokemon serves such a good role. It can set up Trick Room, and it's like has such a great typing Water Dragon. And then, yeah, you kind of saw him struggle a bit, and then it's like now he has it back, and under rain things are going to hit hard. So I think it's still a good squad. I'm eager to see how this match played out.
So one of the unique aspects of like playoffs and play-ins is we end with we end with really this is the final team, so we get to make judgments on their overall team composition throughout the year, how they brought their team up, and where they're at now. And I gotta say, I think where Ty really struggled this year, Ty did great in the beginning. He did pretty good in the middle, and then he kind of floundered at the end. And I think what really was the root cause of that was if you go and look at his like initial squad, it has almost not changed at all. Like this almost is the exact squad that he drafted on draft day. Like, let me take a look real quick. I think he got the Obstagoon, the Mew, and I think Porygon Z from somebody, and then Terrakion and Viserion. But for the most part, his team has stayed the same the whole time, and also like the teams he brings every week are pretty much, like you said, very similar every week. So, he got a little bit more predictable. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't think I've ever once seen him bring Swampert the whole year. So, interesting. But I do think that his team suffered from stagnation, which lends itself to basically a player not being able to maximize the potential of their team because they get comfortable in this. I'm going to bring this team that worked last week, like why not? Or like I can just change some of the moves and check these other opponents. And unfortunately, in our meta, it's just not like that. So yeah. Well, I believe Swampert does suck, and I told him that. That was also like, I just want to point out, that was his 4th round draft pick. Talonflame was still on the draft when he did that. Togekiss was still on the draft. Clefable was still on the draft. Like, dude, Gastrodon was still on the draft. Like, if you wanted a ground water, like Gastrodon, I think is the better pick. There was so much still on the draft when he made that play that I just don't think that God damn it, Dan. You can come, Dan. Zach's gone. So yeah, the team just didn't change very much. And Ty, this is not trying to be rude to you about your team or anything. This is just an observation of the end game of the season and where your team ended up. As you're aware, Ty was bottom at the 10th spot, barely making it into playoffs. Like, really, he was pretty safe, but like in the week before that, he barely eked through. Like, he wasn't gonna make it at a certain point. Like, Steven or Reese was about to overtake him, and then he did end up solidifying his place, but I think that he also didn't even take advantage of Feet on the Week. Like, he didn't draft any of the big hitters off the wire. He didn't change anything that last week, and now we see him going into the play-ins with, I mean, I've seen this team probably like 15 times out of the 17 weeks. And Hendo made a lot of changes in the but let's kick this one off. We don't need to
Yes, sir.
talk more about those teams. So I think that we know what we're getting here. We got Rain Team, not really speedy Rain Team though, going up against Mike's. I'd be interested to see if Ty brought some Trick Room just to turn off Trick Room. That would be clutch because Solgaleo and Palkia both have access to it, but I doubt it. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go. I've considered doing that before in the past, like bringing Trick Room just to shut down Trick Room, but it's really like not good.
Depends, and in certain instances, if you catch someone off guard, maybe they're not expecting it, that could potentially sway it. Because then maybe if you taunt the same round, the mental herb is used, something like that. But it still gives you a turn to potentially stop it again from going back up. And if anything, now there's a constant just presence. Like, damn, is he gonna reverse it again? And it's like, it's a whole mental thing. That's why I love Pokemon. It is also like a mental game as well. Once you kind of find out what your opponents use running.
With shit like ally switch and things like that. Ty doesn't really have anything to fear with this lead, so like what he really needs to do is stay in with Palkia, and I mean don't set up Tailwind, but alright. He's gonna switch that to I guess turn off Strong Jaw.
Yeah.
And as one.
Interesting switch. As Ian pointed out, definitely if that was strong job boosted, it probably would have O-code that Weezing right there. I do think the Tailwind is very questionable, but maybe he just didn't. Again, sometimes you see these big threats, you expect him to just be all out attacking. Maybe he didn't expect the Calyrex to have the Trick Room. Maybe he thought the Necrozma was. And it's easy to make that mistake. I made the mistake when I was facing Ty the first time.
I'm gonna say
but
that.
Now,
go ahead. Sorry.
No, just now it's just like a really tough spot because you have like this Calyrex, man. Once it gets going, it's just almost impossible to stop. So I don't know what. It's just hard, man. Because now I doubt he has a way to reverse Trick Room. He kind of probably doesn't want to switch into anything. So it's just a really tough spot. Just first turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean he set up the Trick Room literally, or he set up Trick Room, and then Ty set Tailwind, which literally, no matter what he does, his Pokemon are going last. And so that's super unfortunate. But I also think that the Palkia staying in could have been huge. I mean, what I really think is happening, like Ty is familiar with battle strategies, VGC and stuff, but I don't think that he necessarily saw this as a Trick Room lead, even though like some of us more experienced players would have.
It's again like it's easy to make that mistake, but it's just those like little things. Because now like the rain is still out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now even though Strong Jaw's turned off because of the Weezing, he's still getting the rain boost from the Fish's Wren, just things like that. And now after just getting that first kill on the Solgaleo, he loses one of his big heavy hitters, and now Mike's Calyrex also got the chilling Nay boost. So it's like, and it's only been what, like 2 turns, a turn of Trick Room.
So that must mean that ability can't be shut off because he powered through Galarian Weezing for that chilling Nay.
I think Mike just mentioned that in the chat. I actually didn't know that. Great observation.
Wow. How can as one be negated and both of the other abilities stay active? Like, that doesn't make much sense. Like, because as one lets him have both abilities. Does it choose between, like, does he not have Unnerve now? You know what I mean? Like, what's the way that works? It's complicated. It's this type of stuff that is interesting about Pokemon is, like, what is actually gonna be affected by certain moves. It's crazy.
Right. And then all Mike has to do, he has a 6-4 lead. If I'm him, I got the attack boost, like he just did right now. I'm just clicking Glacial Lance without any hesitation, to be completely honest with you. There's nothing. This is probably a double kill, to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, and that. and then that's an extra +2 in attack,
And he's healing.
just right there.
And he's
Yeah.
healing. So
Hmm.
Tailwind popped down, but he's still not going to be fast, slower than these guys. He gets fake out, I guess. He's trying to go for, I got to kill this Kyrilex now, but like realistically, I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's a way out of this one.
Yeah. It's looking rough for sure. Uh,
No, I knew that, Mike. I
I
saw
think,
that.
yeah, I think the unfortunately the match might be over. It's a 6-2 lead. The fa
That turn one, removing
oh,
the
that's
Palkia and not like hydro pumping the Kyrilex under rain and not setting up trick. Oh, well, there we go.
like,
That's game.
if I know you're watching the stream, was the intent this turn to undo Trick Room, then set Trick Room back up again the same turn? Or was it to the fake out was coming and then you were just like F it, like if something happens, like maybe I forgot Trick Room turns. I'm assuming it's the first one. Because then that would have been that's a really smart play on your part, bro. Good stuff right there. But Trick Room's gone at the moment.
Okay, I'm clicking
Still
Glacial Lance again. Like,
yeah, still a little bit of a grim spot. Just
okay,
Calyrex Ice is just so bulky, bro.
yeah.
Even though Ice isn't the greatest defensive typing, it's just so bulky.
Um, he was trying to get Trick Room back up to like reset, but he got the fake out, I guess. Now that Heat Wave, gigantic. Yeah, this is over. So we got a 5-1.
Ooh,
Well, I guess he could still outspeed, but the Kyrilex and kill
I
it with
didn't
Heat Wave.
I didn't realize that the special Ren missed that turn. I wonder if that would have killed. Granted, Trick Room was still up.
Nah, he turned it off, didn't he?
Oh yeah, at this point it was off. Yes, that's correct. That was interesting.
So yeah, I mean, this is GG.
Fortunately, do believe
Nah, if
it
I'm
is
here,
over
I'm
right
pulling
here.
Kyrilex
Yeah,
out.
of course. For what? Yeah, you're petty, bro. That match is over. You got the choice scarf on the Dracovish. You're gonna go first.
Yeah.
That sells us 2 HP. Props to
Hey
Mike.
guys,
I
What's
guess
up,
I'll join
Dan?
you
score
on the
doesn't really
second.
matter either.
Yeah, props to Mike. Just coming in with a solid game plan. Overall, executing, making it work. And I'm sure Ty wish he could have done some things a little bit different right here, but just congrats, man, on finishing the season. It's probably the most competitive season of PLC play we've had, like throughout all the seasons. We're on 7 now, and even though it's just Playins, like there's still a lot of good people who didn't make that spot, and it was 17 long ass weeks. So
Yeah.
just completing it, man, nothing to be ashamed about. You'll get him next year. Good stuff for Mike. That's a
I mean,
dominant, fantastic one.
yeah, whether he tried his best or not, like Reese didn't make playoffs, and that's our three-time champ. Speakman had a losing record, so but he definitely could have made playoffs if he was here from the beginning. Um,
Yeah, starting off at like -5 losses was not easy, especially
no,
with like not been this plus minus already.
Steven was really close. Reese, even with the season that he played, was right there. Um,
Actually, if I think about it, Chris only lost twice, right?
I doubt it because
No, because I'm saying his record was like negative with 7 losses, right?
no, he didn't come in that late. He came in mad early.
No, I'm talking about the losses. I'm not talking about the week he came in. I'm saying the losses he came in.
I'm saying that it was mathematically impossible for his losses to be 7 when he came in.
No. No. I was asking what his current losses were,
Oh, it's
not
9.
his.
It's 9.
Okay, so he lost 4 times because I know one of them was like the first week he was coming in, he had to forfeit that week because that was like the week he was moving in, and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, there was some. That was another thing about the season. There were some unfortunate forfeits. Like, legitimately, if Reese hadn't gotten the forfeit on the match with Jay and he had beaten Jay, even if he didn't beat Jay, like, he would not have taken a -6 and he would have passed Ty. You know what I mean? Like, that surrender actually did keep, or rather forfeit, actually did keep Reese out of playoffs. And anyway, the point
Oh
of
yeah. Shout out to Chris, man. As Jordan just wrote in the chat, the people's champ for the season, going 7-5 in the time that he took over Evan's team, which at the time I remember we were looking at as not
negative,
dumpster fire. No,
yeah,
no, let's do complete like at that point. But he took it, he made his own, and the process of just speaking, man. Because one of those, like again, it's easy to just like go 0-4 and then just like roll over, but he made it hard for a lot of people. So
yeah. He
good
took
job,
down some
Chris.
big names too, like, not to toot my own horn like I normally do, but like he took me out. I think he beat a Reese barely. Um, he he beat like a lot of big names. So like I'm glad he came in and played again, and I'm glad he did well. That was a really good season out of Speakman. I just want to point out that this is actually Ty's first play in. This is his second season. So he did make playoffs or play-ins this year, so that's already an improvement. And his win-loss record was not that bad at all.
Of
Um,
course.
and so you see lots of improvement out of some of the newer players. Um, and Philip and Steven normally are really good, but I feel like they floundered on team comp this year, and that's why they didn't quite make it in. But anyway, let's move past that. Sorry, we welcome Zach, by the way.
Hi, Zach. Oh, okay.
Okay,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm a little muted just because it's like you call me at like literally like the tail end of me like grocery shopping, so like kind of just getting my things in. But if you can stall for just a little bit before you play, I'll still be here.
yeah, yeah. So,
You want the teams for a bit, even
um,
if you'd like to go first.
yeah, I do want to point out that, um, God, I just had something for this, guys. We have an option here. So, I recorded this match with Jay. We were both talking on Discord as we tend to do. And there is live commentary on this video. Um, so I personally feel like we should commentate live now, but if you are intrigued by what happened live, you can go ahead and visit the draft folder and watch this one with raw footage. It's got me and Jay. It's pretty funny, honestly.
Listen, Jordan. First of all, we're gonna get to it afterwards, like we used to do on the podcast in the good old days before you decided to,
He's getting ahead of himself,
hang up.
bro.
Yeah, hang up your jersey, retire. Hang up your podcast mic. It was you who ended it. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's okay. But we're gonna get to it. But
Hey, Jordan, do me a
we already
favor.
like hit it, just because we already hit it. As Jordan said, no matter what, if Mike won, he was gonna face the 2 seed, which is Jordan. So again, just for this week, technically, it will be Mike against Jordan, the number 2 seed against the number 7 seed in that first round matchup. That should be a good one.
And whoever
Um,
wins between us will fight Zach.
No, Jordan, I will not. I will not call my tits. Do you want to know why I'm not going to call my tits? Because I said, Jordan, do you want to play Fortnite 2 days ago, and you didn't respond to me. So
Bro, he's
actually,
always
I'm not
bitching
going to call.
about that.
Bro, he's like, bro, when you gonna hop on? And I was like, bro, I was just trying to hop on before, and he was just like, oh, I got things to do. And I'm like, yeah, you have a family, you're busy, I get it, but
Right, right,
new Dragon Ball skins, bro. Come on now.
right. Jordan, if you want to go ahead and update the standings on the sheet, I'll take a screen cap and I'll pop that up at the end of the stream.
Tell me, guys, that the guy who has been trying to get us to play Fortnite all this time ain't flaking.
Yo,
Hey,
When
flaking,
push
man.
man,
comes
like
to
I'm gonna
shove.
play, bro. I downloaded Fortnite,
Telling you, bro, call that man breakfast. Call that man Frosted Flakes.
bro.
That's all he does.
I have
Dang,
Fortnite only
frosted
to play with
flakes,
Jordan.
sugar on top.
Come on now. Slacking, Jordan.
All right, caught him
Couldn't be me.
lacking. All right, so
Exactly.
this
Couldn't
team,
be me.
I want to point out something that I kind of regret at the I usually the last week or two I fuck around with my team a lot. I made some serious changes. I think ultimately these changes were for the better for my team because I had a huge rock and ground weakness. But if you notice the team that is on the screen right now, this is almost the exact team that I've piloted for the last 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years. The Zapdos, we got Azumarill, we got Politoed, my favorite rain setter. I always do Disquake with the Zapdos. Score Bunny is my home, and then Zamazenta's really the only outlier here. This is
Nice.
Yeah, it's literally like the same team. I went from having a Sun team at the beginning of the season to picking the Rain team off of Phillips' corpse and bringing it to my side. So I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, this is a Rain team. I was originally going to bring Ninetales Alola as well, so I could have double weather setters to turn off Sun, and I was going to set possibly Aurora Veil or just fucking spam Blizzard as much as I could because a lot of his team is weak to Blizzard. Um, does seem like that would have been a good call, but but instead I opted for a Zamazenta where, and I mean you'll see it in the match. It's not really a secret, but I knew that wide guard would be huge in this game.
Fantastic points. Just from the opposing standpoint, one of the things I did expect, I was really surprised to not see Reshiram. I kind of feel like he's probably not gonna bring Zekrom because, like, Groudon and like all that other stuff, things like that. What that was probably for me the big surprise, and that's the reason why I was like, do I want to bring Marshadow? Just because I knew that low kick would probably OHKO with Life Orb.
Yeah.
But just not seeing that, I was like, oh. Is there a reason? Because I know Mike is also in the chat asking. Was there a reason for not bringing the dragons in this matchup? Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
really it was the Groudon and the fact that, like, so I almost did bring Reshiram because I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just abuse his son. Like 130 base, Choice Scarf, Heat Waves or some shit. You know what I mean? Um, but also before I go on that, the Zapdos has Weather Ball, and when I planned the team with the double weathers, both of my weathers make Weather Ball super effective against Groudon, and the Ice one makes it super effective against the rest of the team except for Metagross and Riolu. Anyway, decided not to bring either dragon specifically because of Groudon. I mean, obviously I could have rocked a Shucka Berry, but like ultimately it was just not a good matchup for me. He had some grass types, but that really didn't matter that much. You know what I mean? He has Ho-Oh, Ninetales Kanto. Obviously Metagross and Jirachi were weak to it, but I already had answers for them. So it just felt like bringing Reshiram and Zekrom to get one-shotted by Precipice Blades would feel bad. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
man. Well said. Well said. At the end of the day, you went with what you feel most comfortable with, and that's what we all do. At the end of the day, whatever we feel like is the best option. Yeah, at the moment we're confident. We may come to regret it later, but it's like it's fine. Things like that happen. In regards to just the way I was thinking, you know, I had a secret meeting with some of the best minds in the PLC, and I was like, "Hey, the match is in a day. What what do I bring?" The common thing was the four core consisting of Venusaur, Groudon, Rillaboom, and is that four? Am I going crazy? Yeah, Groudon, Rillaboom, and Riolu. I hadn't brought Riolu up until this point for a couple weeks now, but I still want to keep it on my team. So I feel like it still had a lot of value, and I was kind of like struggling towards like the season because I had made my mid seasons a little like messed up just because I had Ninetales now, and then I would have to drop something to get Groudon, but the only thing I could have dropped was a Rayquaza. So I still had the Ninetales, and I'm like maybe I'll use it like in this playoff run, but it was kind of like of a weird I have kind of like double Sun, I guess. But I
yeah,
don't want to bring those forward just because I felt like looking at Ian's team, I knew Suicune, I knew Azumarill, I knew Polito, so I was like, there's no reason to not bring Rillaboom at all. When it comes to Venusaur, I did want to go with the Sleep Powder set. The main point of the Sleep Powder Venusaur was literally just for Cinderace or for the Dragons also as well, just because if if I did have sun up, I could at least put them to sleep, and then I could like try to stall something and think about something where it's like they're not able to put damage on me, and I'm able to at least like kind of chip away at their health, and maybe set something up to then take them out, which I was gonna do with the Groudon set, which I'm gonna talk about in a bit. Metagross was just there just because I didn't want to do a Comfey. Every time I face Ian and Scrims, Comfey usually puts in a lot of work. So that was just the main reason for that. I was going back and forth with some of the guys on like Jirachi or Metagross. Still the same typing, just feel like Jirachi would have been faster. But I feel like Metagross, was talking with some of the fellas, and they mentioned that the bulky Metagross set would have been able to take a Pyro Ball from Cinderace, and I was like, that could be clutch. And then it's like I wanted the psychic typing for Zamazenta as well.
Yeah.
Lastly, with the Groudon, Rock Polish, Rock Slide, Precipice Blade to protect. I initially wanted to do a lot more of the single attacking, but then I was like, some of the guys were just like, hey, try it out. The rock polish set wasn't like something I thought of. Then I was like, you know what? It doesn't hurt because then I could outspeed Cinderace, and I know it's not gonna OHKO me with any of its moves, not even Sucker Punch, considering the set that we had thought up was gonna be it was, I believe it was Impish, if I'm not mistaken, and we have put a lot of investments in physical defense, special defense, and HP, because we had weakness policy on there just in case we get the sun up and like I get scalded, Aqua Jet, anything like that, we'd be ready for the just to go on the offensive, and Rio had coaching as well. Lastly, support Dragapult just to again spam Thunder Wave, Draco Meteor just in case I need to put some big damage on any of his dragons, things like that.
I do want to point out that before we battled, I checked the speed tiers, and I checked like all the fastest Pokemon on his team. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the fastest Pokemon on your team is Dragapult at 145, um, and then Venusaur under Sun. Those were the only two Pokemon that I could not outspeed. Uh, like with anybody on my team, no matter what, like maybe Choice Scarf something could outspeed, but I basically went down the list by speed and figured out like who can outspeed this at the lowest amount of stat investment. And so you had Marshadow with 125 base speed, and I basically figured out that I only needed like 150 speed points for Zamazenta and like 196 or something for Zapdos. Like, I didn't need full investment to outspeed, so I put that exact investment in and then reinvested the rest in like bulk and offense, to kind of get there. And I understand about your comment about Blue Flare. I mean, Under Sun with Stab, Flare is hitting hard as a truck. But let me tell you something. I really don't like RNG for this match. I just really don't.
I feel you. You've always kind of felt that way about the inaccurate moves.
That's why, for a part of me, I kind of wish I did keep Victini earlier in the season, because I could have just been spamming like blue flares. I could have been spamming sleep powders when I had Vileplume. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't
Yeah,
think about Victory Star that much as an ability, and like I think that eventually costs like cohesion in the middle of the season for me.
Right.
Um, but anyway, I'm ready to kick it off if you guys are.
yeah,
Alright,
yeah. Thank you guys for stalling. I definitely appreciate it.
No, no worries.
anytime.
We had shit to say. All right, well, 1, 2, 3, go.
Is this the live commentary one, or is this the
Nah, well,
video
I
one?
muted it so we could commentate live. But
Yeah,
if anybody,
that's smart. That's smart.
yeah, if anybody wants to go back and watch this, you can just hit me up for the drive link, and you guys can watch it with live commentary. Got to get some background music here. There we go. I'm gonna pick one that we never get to. Alright, so lead, not great, not bad. I have a chance if I want to switch in Politoed to get a free Hurricane off. He
Yeah,
what?
is the infamous Quake combo lead.
Yeah, and I knew that he had Fake Out, so there wasn't even a guarantee that I could get the Hurricane off. So instead, I opted to do the Disquake combo. That way, no matter what, I hit his Pokemon, uh, and try to get that
Right?
paralysis.
Hey,
Hur-
kid said it's something's
Yeah,
too loud. Am I
I
gonna
turned it down.
Okay.
Hurricane was initially what I thought you were gonna go for. To be honest, that's the reason for Ally Switch. I knew I could have taken like a Heat Wave since I had the Assault Vest on the Rillaboom, and I was just like, I just didn't want you to. I was like, I hope he doesn't have Ice Shard, and I was like, maybe if I switch him, I could probably tank a move. But I knew the Wood Hammer was gonna kill the uh the Mamoswine because Rillaboom just hits like a truck under grassy terrain. So I was like,
was
Yeah.
actually I was really surprised about the outspeed.
About which outspeed?
About the Mamo getting outsped by Rilla, because I think they're like really close in speed.
Yeah, I was thinking
and a lot of
Grassy
the times
Glide.
there's yeah.
Honestly, I was thinking Fake Out or Grassy Glide would go off and do big damage. So here I'm targeting the Rillaboom because I'm like expecting him to ally switch again. Um, and then he switches and I'm like, okay, not a big deal. He sends in this and I'm like, free hit, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I was surprised about this switch.
just because I didn't want to like I had the grassy seed, so I knew I was gonna get the defense boost regardless. So I was like, whatever, if anything, yeah. So I was just like, I don't really want to switch anything in, but I also don't want to take like a heat wave now that I'm out. Like with Rillaboom, I was like I'm 50% HP,
and he
so I was
also,
like, let me just I was like, let me just like not do that. Yeah, I was like, the paralysis
also-
goes off.
Fog misses. Fog missed the heat
really
wave
clutch
too.
timing, bro. Really
And I was
clutch timing, dude.
And at this point, it's like, okay, we're in a good spot. I'm just like, I assumed, I forgot that this wasn't like a super fast Metagross, and I was like, I assumed that with the paralysis, I would outspeed and I could get, you know, the Zen Headbutt. And now I'm just like, I can't really switch out because I don't want to take a double hit. So I'm like, let me just start to chip down at the Zapdos. I know that the Heat Wave isn't gonna really do much to the Dragapult because I know like it's a decently bulky set. Ian's speed investment pays off. He was still able to pick up the kill with the crunch. And I remember we were talking, I was like, wow, that motherfucker is fast. That's the first thing I said because
And
I
then
wasn't expecting it.
I was like, yeah, I made sure.
What?
What? Did Zach get replaced by a robot?
Got the robot mic at the moment, Zach.
Alright, so Fake, yeah, I don't know if you're far from your internet signal or something, but you're coming in choppy. So the Fake Out does some damage, I flinch, Paralysis kicks off again, that's 2 for those counting. And that definitely would have killed the Congo. And if I got the crunch off on if he did ally switch, I think I might have come close to
I
killing.
personally don't think the crunch would have killed, just because I know how much defense Rillaboom has, and I know that this is an HP kind of centered, even though it has little speed. I think it might have like barely lived, because I've seen this thing tank a lot of hits, and it wasn't like stat boosted, but I could have been wrong. It's like that. I was trying to kill this fucking Zapdos. As you can see, I don't care about like the Zamazenta. I just need to kill this Dragapult, just so Venusaur could like be safe. That was my biggest thing. I was like, I need to set up for the sun. And I'm just trying to kill I was trying so hard to kill the Zapdos. Like, I was just like, bro, just die. I didn't even know I got static right there. That's funny.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I think, unless I para here, I think I kill him this turn, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I honestly wasn't even thinking, Jay and I were talking, so I wasn't even thinking about how important Zapdos was for taking out Venusaur later. I didn't even consider it.
That was the whole that's what I was like, because I kind of saw, I knew you still had the Zoomeroo and the Politoed, and I was like, I just need to get the Zapdos out of here, because I have nothing else that can take it out. I did have Rock Slide on Groudon, but I was like, I wanted to get Weakness Policy set up, so I needed to build some type of cushion where it's like I can either Switching Riolu and change the weather, which I don't know if I said I had Sunny Day on Riolu before, or I just needed a chance where I can send out Venusaur and then switch Groudon in safely, so I could like get a sleep powder on something, things like that.
Yeah.
So, Ian,
Yeah.
what was your thought process between the assault vest on Zapdos?
I knew Groudon couldn't touch it, and he has some fairly good special attackers. It's already a bulky Pokemon, and I really was having kind of a difficult time picking offensive moves. I
Okay.
think retrospectively, I probably would have gone back. Here comes the sleep powder, uh, which is not 100% accurate. Do you have wide lens on there?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, all
sir.
right, cool. So
You hate those moves, man.
um, my mentality was I had a hard time not picking the moves, but I do wish that I went back and changed probably Weather Ball to protect because the Weather Ball was there when I had double weather, and then I took double weather off and I forgot to change that.
Yeah, I feel it.
I was trying to kill the Cinderace, so it's like that's the biggest thing right now that just threat. I feel like just considering what Ian had left, I just knew once I take out the Cinderace, I'm in a really good spot because I can control the weather, and I can set up with Groudon, which I think the wide guard threw me off, and
Another
I expected it to happen again this turn. That's why I was like,
paralysis.
this was crazy. I got so scared 'cause I saw how fast that health bar was going down, and I was like, there's no
Yeah.
way. I was like, there's
Oh
no
my
way.
God, man, that had to be terrifying to see all that.
I
And
was
and then
and, and in my head I was like, why did this do so much? I was like, okay, he crit, and I was like, please just don't die.
please just don't die. Please just get this
Dude.
SpongeBob off.
Yeah, so I
you
parried again and missed my
but you-
fucking wide guard,
The
but it
wide
didn't end
guard.
up mattering because you rock polished.
You see that rock polish go off though, and you're just like,
That
oh,
is
fuck.
3. Now the thing is, before this match, I literally was doing those speed calcs, and I saw one of the sets for Smogon was like Speedy Sweeper for Groudon, and I looked at it and I saw rock polish, and I was like, he's not gonna do that.
Listen, man. I just followed the advice given me by some of the best minds in the PLC. That's what I was saying. I was like, you know what? If I feel comfortable with it, I'm down with it. You know, I like
4
I
paralysis.
rarely
That's 4.
I rarely set up, so I was like, you know what? I'm down. Yeah, you got paralyzed a lot, Ian. That's fucking crazy. I got I knew the ice beam or whatever was coming out. I didn't want Venusaur to die yet, just in case I need to sleep powder one more time. And this
Right.
Riolu is full HP, full special defense. So I was like, as long as he doesn't like play rough me, Groudon's protected, I should be all good. And then right here, I was just like, I was like, let me get the coaching started, just so I get a little bit more bulk. I don't. If I put the sun up, Politoed can't really do anything. So I was like, let me start getting the coachings off, just to see what he does, all that good stuff.
JK.
Oh no, I hit the sunny day. My bad. Yeah, so I was like, fuck. I was like, yeah, I don't want no smoke with this, with that frog.
Yeah.
Precipice Blades miss. That's the one thing.
5
Precipice
paralysis.
with Precipice Blades, I kept hitting it, and I was like, bro, it would hit. Well, as you can see, this dog just like I'm like, bro, like you literally can't move. Get over here, like.
Tanking shit.
Dodging the fade, yeah, like dodging the fade. Like, what's up, man? At this point, I knew Politoed was gonna come back out.
We talked
so I
about
was
it
just
too.
like-
I thought you were gonna use Sunny Day again.
I want to get the coaching up just because I wanted the weakness policy to activate, and I wanted the defense boost. Either way, I probably could have put Sun up again, but I was just like, maybe I don't know. I just felt like the defense boost, and I know like the amount of defense that was invested in this Groudon. I was just like, there's no way this is gonna kill. I'm the fastest thing on the field, technically at this point. So there's nothing that can really like fuck with me right now.
Yeah,
So-
I'm unfuckable with right now.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm at +3. I'm at +2 speed. I have 1 defense boost. I know that the play rough does literally nothing when I wasn't boosted. So I was like, if I'm at +1, if I keep the coachings going, it's not. I shouldn't. There's no way that like any of these Pokemon kill me unless it's a crit, which was my biggest thing. I was like, just do not crit
Just
me.
don't trip me, please.
Yeah, I was
Don't.
like, please don't crit me. I'm assuming Ian's gonna. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start to just. I'm gonna change the weather again, and I'm just gonna start just to spam coaching, just because if he keeps the
know-
wide guard spam, I know the paralysis is gonna work one of these times, and it's just, and I'm gonna kill something.
You know you
Seriously,
didn't
no,
even,
seriously, that's what I said. I
You know
was
you
like,
didn't even need to do that turn. You could have coached through the protect.
No,
I didn't know
Sunny. You need Sunny Day to weaken the power of Aqua
Yeah,
Drain.
Yeah,
I
but
just,
he was
cause
already protecting, so he could have done
But
the
the reason-
coaching right here and then Sunny Day
nah,
the next turn.
because no, because if you
If you killed the
with
Riolu,
Aqua
then
Jet,
he.
that's what I'm saying. So like I needed the sun because I was like, if in case he decides to hit Riolu, I cannot have this Azumarill boosted in the rain. And I'm like, at this point, I'm just coaching just to like, you know,
He
get
also still
swole,
needs to
you know,
he needs
get
to make
swole.
sure he needs to make sure that the sun's up so that Venusaur isn't like dead weight either.
Exactly, and then it's like, so if I do need to hypothetically sleep powder, if I if I can hit a precipice blade on this dog, since I've hit everything else but the dog.
Avoided. So I parried 5 times so far. I missed 3 attacks.
And that's the play rough. That was rough. Get it? Because Real is a dog. Real is a dog, and he used play rough. I thought that was funny as hell. That's just
So
me.
you're not able to hit this dog, but this dog's not able to hit you either.
I know.
For different
So
reasons.
it's you know, as Daniel says, it's all balanced as it should be.
So I took
We
the L.
finally break through though. Precipice Blades for the win, and fantastic, you know, game. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed talking to Ian via Discord, and yeah, great overall game.
It was a pretty good game, like you said. I didn't feel bad about it. Venusaur was almost dead. I probably couldn't, at the time, after the coachings, I probably couldn't have taken out Groudon with what I had left, but, you know, Venusaur was almost dead. I could have killed the Dragapult with a Play Rough, and obviously the Pedri too, so, like, I felt like if I hadn't gotten parried so much, I might have been in a safe spot. Like, Venusaur would definitely have been dead from my attack on him, and I would have killed Rillaboom and Dragapult like a turn earlier because I selected them as targets. But it doesn't matter. Jay was the better player, and he won because even though the paralysis is RNG, he's the one that paralyzed me, and that was key to his victory.
It's also just like when you were at +2, and it's like you missed the same spot 3 times with the Precipice Blades, and then it's like you know that Venusaur isn't gonna die. The reason that it was just that close was because of that crit. I do feel like that if the match, even if like some of them would have been killed earlier, I still feel like the same result would have played out. Maybe not the same score, because I don't think a 4-0 is fair, to be honest with you. I think it should have been like a 2, maybe 3-0. I promise, like, I was like, the only thing I was like, okay, I just need this dog to die. This dog is the only thing scaring me, and I've missed it 3 times. I've missed it 3 times with this move, and I'm just like, at some point, I'm either gonna have to Draco Meteor it, or I'm gonna have to start just Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb spamming it, and it's gonna eventually die. It was just a matter of when it was gonna die. So I was like, bro, hit the dog. I'm like, it can't move. It's paralysis. Like, it has been moving. Like, why? Like, why is it like just sidestepping? You know? But
I mean, that's how hacks be. It be playing on both sides.
I'm a Zensa, man. Yeah, like, I'm a Zensa. It's such a good Pokemon. I love people like it's not that, but I think it's fantastic personally.
Now, I'm not gonna say I disagree that you wouldn't have necessarily won, but a lot of those RNG moments where I missed or was paralyzed were moments that you were able to kill other Pokemon on my team when I was gonna kill your Pokemon. So like,
but it
I had
wasn't
double
anything
targeted
towards the major threats, and it's like, I get it that so I get what you're saying. I don't think the crunch would have killed Rillaboom, and at that point, even like
No,
because you
I
got a play rough.
I heat waved him that turn, so I would have gotten the kill on that.
You got the play rough on the Groudon, and that still didn't do a lot, even when I wasn't coached up. So, and the reason why I wasn't switching in earlier, because at the same time I was waiting for these things to die. So, because I just didn't want to switch in. That was the biggest thing. I just didn't want to switch in. But I was like, once I knew once I saw Ian that I took out Zapdos, I just knew from there that if I just set up with Groudon, and worst case scenario, if I do need to bring Venusaur out, if I have the sun up, I know that I could just sleep any major threat and I can kill it the very next turn. And Dragon Ball was still, it wasn't even like it was like half health, it was still decently alive, and I had decent special attack investment, and worst case scenario I could have just ally switched like something out.
Yeah,
just the reason why I'm saying these points is just because it's just important to also like realize that's like it was a very calculated game on both sides.
Yeah. I mean, you got to consider though, I missed 3 attacks with Zamazenta and paralyzed 5 times. So that's 7 or 8 turns that were completely wasted. Like, so that's 8 offensive or defensive attacks that could have made a huge difference.
Then it also could be said that I missed 3 Precipice Blades, which at some point would have killed the Zamazenta when I was at +3 numerous times. It could also say that
but the game was already decided at that point, and the only thing Zamazenta was doing at that point was wide guarding.
But that's the thing. It's like it would have been earlier, because then at the same time I had to play different because I was hitting everything else but the Zamazenta. And as you said, I had Dragapult and I had Riolu. So it's like, it wasn't like, okay, the match is all rounded up. The thing that what really hurt for me personally was the crit on the Venusaur, because then I had to play different because now I'm on 1 HP. So even if I have the sun up,
even sun resisted like Aqua Jet is going to kill it.
Exactly. So now I'm like, and I'm like even now, like even anything, even though I'll play rough, I'm half poison, so it wouldn't have been effective. So just things like that, I had to play a little bit different. What I'm saying, so like my whole point is just like, keep in mind, this is still like, again, we go through the RNG, but we have to adapt to it at the end.
That's it.
You know, and it just be like, it's Pokemon, it just be like that.
No, it does be like that, and that's the result was the 4-0. Like, again, your team, you set up the paralysis and it worked for you, and you know, you set up the sleep. I slept for 2 turns, that worked for you. Like, it was your strategy working in action. So like, do I think I maybe could have had a different result? Maybe, but it doesn't matter because your team worked how it was supposed to work.
Right. This would have been like one of them clutch moments where it's just like, you pop out with that Porygon with the heal bell, and it's just like, bro, like that changes the game completely. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I actually considered bringing Comfy with aromatherapy, but I didn't. I didn't like Comfy. It's not super bulky, and I know that he would be targeting it like crazy.
Yeah, because he hates that fairy, man. He hates that fairy.
So I was like, it doesn't feel worth it.
I was talking to people and I was like, bro, I hate I was like, bro, I would literally just bring something just to take out the config, because I cannot deal with it. Like the priority healing, that's the one thing I was like, the priority healing, I was like, no matter what, how many speed boosts, how many suns I have, I'm like, if he just keeps healing stuff to a point where I can't kill it, then I'm like, what's the point?
Right, yeah, and
like that.
stat or not stat, but priority Giga Drain for Groudon too.
That's the thing though about, doubles in general, and like, kind of like our meta, we kind of like, stray away from like bringing like status moves sometimes, like Thunder Wave, and sometimes you'll see Will-O-Wisp on like Rotom and shit, or Weezing, or you'll see like, you don't really see Toxic a whole lot though. You don't really see a hell of a lot of Sleep if they don't have Spore. So it's hard to just say like, I'm gonna pack Lumberry on this sweeper, or I'm gonna bring Aromatherapy or Heal Bell. So it's like, when it does come up, when it does happen, it's clutch, and it's really good call on that player's side there. And I think the whole idea with the Thunder Wave in general is just like, zombies in a speed tier is just so threatening, man. You gotta have some kind of speed denial to
Yeah, I
stop
mean,
that thing
even
off.
with that, he was outspeeding. Like even with the para.
Yeah, exactly. Still outspeeding Metagross. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
You
So
just go, and you're not even fully invested in the speed, like you said, right?
no, I was like 152 or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like when like these players, like Jay, they bring Thunder Wave, thinking like, oh, I want to make sure I neuter that thing's speed. Like that's a really good call on his part, as a player. Taking your team into consideration, thinking how much work Thunder Wave, speed drop could put on his
Yeah.
team. Like, that is, it was two really skilled players who brought the sets that they believe was going to lead them to victory. And that's just how it goes. That's how the dice rolls
Yeah,
sometimes.
I got outplayed by a better player. Absolutely. And that actually keeps Jay's win streak on me in playoffs going.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think I may have beaten you once in a playoffs, but I'm pretty sure you've won every time where we've seen each other in playoffs. So
Jordan in the Twitch chat, pull out the Rex.
I know that he already had the majority of wins in playoffs, if not all of them.
It was a really dope match to watch. Like,
no,
it was
I don't.
really.
I didn't mean to make those statements in a way where I'm like, fuck, it could have won. Like, I didn't mean that at all. I meant to say that, like, there was a lot of factors on both sides in this game that, like, while it is a 4-0, like, that I don't feel bad about losing 4-0 considering the circumstances.
I mean, shoot, look at all of, like, the times, like, like, you played me in play-ins, or not play-ins, but, playoffs, and, I just got curb stomped, like, without condom, sometimes it just, shit happens, man.
Yeah, no, I do have a good record against you in playoffs.
Yeah,
Jay and I spend a lot of time talking and theorizing together too. So like, I would also go as far to say that Jay has a better strategic mind for Pokemon too. So like,
Okay,
this,
I'm decent.
yeah. So like, he knows how I play pretty well. I mean, we've been friends for 6-7 years now. He knows how I play pretty well. We've talked about our teams all year round, and I think that he is strategically better at Pokemon than me. So like, this was already an uphill battle for me for sure. In terms of that, like
that is kind of like the problem with like testing with like someone so extensively all season long, is that they just kind of learn after a while how to beat your team because they played against it so much.
Right, or we theoried about other people's Pokemon beating my team and like how to counter that or whatever.
And they were like, oh, well, now I really know how to beat his team because I played with him so much.
I don't want to say, I don't think that is a factor so much as his experience in the competitive realm.
That's actually why, because Ian actually asked me to help him scrim for his match, last week before he played, and so like I was like, yeah, I'll help you scrim, but I'm gonna just bring competitive Pokemon that I already have in my boxes and like not like stuff that's in my in-season team, because we play, if you win this match, we play next week. Like, I'm not trying to help you have ideas of how to beat me. If I'm gonna play, he's like, well, I don't care. I'm like, I'm sure you don't, but I do.
Yeah.
It was actually kind of funny because I didn't even think about it at the time. I was just grabbing shit like out of the boxes and shit. But I had Venusaur Torkoal on that team, so like in a way, I was literally just like playing with Jay's practically exact Venusaur and Sun team in a way with Torkoal, and I'm like,
yeah,
shit.
You battled me like once or twice though. Like, yeah, we didn't convene about what was good or what was bad at all. Yeah, we don't talk about semifinals of last season because speaking
we don't talk about the injustices.
I actually used that same controller against Jay this match.
Oh my god!
It didn't fuck up.
That's why you got like
nah, that's why it didn't fuck up. But maybe it's got bad juju now.
The controller is cursed, man. That's why he got all that paralysis.
Maybe it's got bad juju now. But all in all, great week.
Just let holy water and then just just like sprinkle on it real fast so all
Right.
the demons go away.
Overall, a dope match. I'm super proud of Jay moving forward. I think if anybody's down, I'd like a live match if you guys want. And then two, let's talk about next week, right? Like, let's fucking I think Jordan did it. Yep. So I'm gonna post a screenshot right now of what the current playoffs look like, so everybody can take a peek. Commentators, if you want to just go to the page.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you mean the okay?
Yeah.
That's just happy I didn't have to take a Kamehameha this week.
Seriously, man.
Yeah, I mean, he could have taken a Kamehameha if Jordan would have played him in fucking Fortnite.
Damn, that's crazy.
So, I mean...
Come on, Jordan. What's going on in Fortnite, man? What's going on, bro?
Yeah, man, we've all been trying to play with him and whatever. All right.
It's too Hollywood, man. He doesn't have time for us, bro.
Bro, he took all his Pokemon content off of YouTube, too. He's trying to distance himself.
I know, like the one time he's been trying for months. The one time we're all like, yeah, we're down. He just like fucking vanishes. Shame on you, sir. Shame on you.
Shame on you, Jordan. Shame on you. I'm upset.
All right, so I took over the full screen. It's a little stretched out, but here you have your actual play-in setup. So on the top of the bracket, we've got Zach versus Jay. On the other side, Jordan versus Mike, which we all kind of already knew because we watched the fucking matches. And then down here, we have Jordan versus Brian and Dan versus Brendan. So, really, we're busy streaming. We can't just hop onto Fortnite right now, Jordan.
I'm on right now in caps, though. In caps, though.
Bro.
You with that Kamehameha, bro. Talking that shit.
So check. We're on stream. How are we free?
Y'all are free right now.
To stream the Fortnite, bro. I'm like, at this point, you have to, like, fuck a Pokemon battle. Just, like, hop on the Fortnite, buy the Dragon Ball skins.
Maybe this is Murasame Media retiring from Pokemon content. He's just gonna stream.
So I want to point something out here. I actually made a bracket for like March Madness NBA shit. I made a bracket for these players.
Oh, Jordan, that's low. That's a low blow, bro. You can't say that.
And I'm going.
You can talk shit about your podcast, but you can't talk shit about the stream, bro.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to tell you guys about my bracket. So I have a March Madness style bracket for this playoffs. Obviously, we're much smaller, but for my predictions, I'm gonna break them down. So Zach versus Jay, right? We're gonna save that one for last. Jordan versus Brian. I'm thinking that Brian actually beats Jordan because he's had a really good record this season. He has done really well. I think that now that he's in playoffs, I think he cares a little bit more.
He cares a little bit more
because he tends to not give too many fucks. But
no,
I think that he's gonna end up beating Jay Wade because I feel like it's a battle of wills. And no offense, Jay Wade, I think Jay Wade has a weak will. So,
whoa,
yeah,
Jesus Christ! I gotta say he's not mentally strong. That's fucked up. Man.
Crazy.
You gotta stop doing. Listen, one thing about Jay Wade is a Manchester United fan. There's not a group of people who are as mentally strong as Man United fans. Imagine having watching the same terrible team every week. Things like that.
Did you see the video I tagged you in?
All right, so Jay Wade in my bracketology, Jay Wade loses to Brian here. Then Dan versus Brendan. I think that Dan has more skill, but the problem with Dan is that he is so by the book that his strategies are almost readable. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Ian, what is going on?
Dude, I'm not shitting on people. I'm saying that, like, Here's how to beat Dan. Okay, here's how you beat Dan.
Oh wow.
Let me break it
John
down.
knows how to beat him.
Let me break it down
Jesus.
how to beat Dan. All right,
Okay,
you
so
do
that is a
some
PowerPoint
out of the box
presentation.
shit, and then he is on tilt for the rest of the game. Like
Oh
he's
my
panic.
God.
He's panic playing his moves. He's
Damn.
fucking. His confidence shoots way down. He starts thinking about how he's gonna lose and why he's losing, and he just gets hard on himself, which makes his calls even more difficult. And that's how you beat Dan. That being said,
Dude, Ian just
Damn.
lost and was just like, I'm gonna just talk shit about
No,
everybody.
bro,
No,
I'm just gonna drag
that,
everybody.
that whole exchange after the match, I'm sorry. Just leave the people out of it, bro.
So I do actually, contrary to that, I do actually have Dan beating Brendan that week because I just don't think that Brendan has as much experience, and I think that the matchup, I think Dan has a good matchup against Brendan. So I think that Dan beats Brendan. Now on to the top stock. I think legitimately. Let me look at the matchup real quick because
I personally think that Mike has the better team. But I think you can never count Jordan out. That being said, just because Jordan won't hop on Fortnite in the next 5 seconds, I do think Mike is gonna take this matchup.
Yeah.
he is,
So
he is
I
I gotta admit that he is kind of scared when it comes to Fortnite. But
I'm gonna say matchup wise, Mike's team kind of is like kryptonite for Jordan's team, and they're both really good players. I think that Mike takes this one. So
I'm not. No, you know what? I'm gonna say it. There's one thing about Jordan, man, and when there's Zacian and fucking Talonflame, bro, where there's Talonflame and Zacian, bro, there's a way.
well, let me
Yes,
also
yes,
say
sir.
this. Let me also say this. Mike. Mike has been kind of distracted lately by other things, which make a ton of sense. But you know,
Team is buns.
Jordan has a
Terrible.
way of just bringing base stats and like coming out on top. And he is a former champ. Oh, here's the other thing. No offense, sorry, Mike. Mike tends to struggle in playoffs.
Come on, man. Not
You
like
didn't have to
this.
go there. You didn't have to
Come
go
on,
there.
Tends to
man.
struggle in playoffs.
Bro took the L and just said, you know what?
Bro,
I'm not gonna
leave-
take this gracefully.
Leave the
I'm gonna
people
drag
out of it.
everyone in the
I'm
boat."
sorry. You would have killed you would have killed Groudon. I'm sorry. Just leave the people out of it, bro. They're innocent in all this. Come on now.
But no, I do have Mike winning that one. No offense, Jordan. And then Zach versus Jay. I mean, I think everybody knows what I think. I think that Jay is going to bring any RNG he had from me, and it's going to turn on Zach, and Jay is going to win that match.
If those up to me, if I sleep out or something, I just hope it stays asleep the whole game. To be honest with you, like I hope it stays asleep for like 8 turns.
This
Hopefully.
might be controversial, you know, for me to say this, but
Oh shit.
I'm gonna
Here
just
we
say
go.
it anyway. I'm gonna say it.
Okay.
I hope that my match with Jay is a fucking repeat of last season.
Oh my
I
God.
want him to get hit with all the bullshit, turn 1, and his confidence just drops
Jay,
immediately.
Jay, why don't you tell him what he wins when you win the match?
I'll just say this. I'll just say this. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You know, I was on repeat, even though I was about to win both those matches without like
No, you
the
weren't.
RNG. Personally, I just feel like once you compare 2 turns of Dynamax to 6 turns over 2 games, I just think the evidence speaks for itself. But again, you know what? I gave Zach his props. That being said, I'm never gonna pick myself to lose. I'm just saying, Zach, you better hope I don't win, because you're not gonna hear me. Like, I'm not gonna shut up about it.
I'm not gonna hear the end of it.
The same way that you like consistently out of the blue
Yo,
for like months just tag me, just know randomly I'm just gonna, and if anything, if I do win, I think that we should probably look at the PLC history and we should remove your season 6 championship, because I think what I had to do just proves a point, to be honest with you. But in all seriousness, I do think Zach probably has the best all around team. I do think a lot of I have a lot of decent counters, a lot of he has, so these counters, a lot of things I have. So I think it's probably a good set. I feel like our set in finals, even though like other stuff happened, I feel like those were still good matches, even though
No,
they still came down. They still came down to like two or so Pokemon at the end, and even though like at some point you kind of feel like Zach was gonna win, I was still like able to fight back just to make it a good match. You know what I mean?
Hey.
Things like that. So I'm hoping it's a fantastic set, and I
man.
think it will be.
Always.
If not
as
for my
always.
controller, we would have gone to game 3, Jay.
That's true.
But no. Anyway, that's
Actually, no, I'm joking.
that
I'm
guy
done.
had the kill.
I'm
I
done.
had the kill.
Yeah,
You missed.
it's the
missed
same old
the
tire
hurricane.
story.
You missed the hurricane on the Venus.
It's
Whatever.
Same old tire story. Mr. Hurricane hit himself a bullet punch, got 6 paralysis, missed 3 times of play rough. It's the same tired story. It's always an excuse.
Damn.
All right. So
Anyway,
that's my prediction. Either of you guys want to get in a live match, or are we good here?
well, I know Jay said he had a dip, right? We
So,
obviously know.
Damn,
We know-
I think you guys should stream Fortnite. To be honest with you guys.
I'll be real. We would, but we obviously know Jordan is like way too scared. Chicken shit, maybe even. You know.
Chicken. Wow.
You know what? I might go so far as to call him a yellow belly.
Dang, yellow belly. That's like probably even a racial term. But
Is it? Is it?
I would argue that
think
I
so.
consider myself the best Fortnite player in the league. I don't think it's even close. I think if me and Jordan had a Fortnite 1v1, I'd dominate him in every aspect.
Oh, easily. That's not even a question.
I don't think that would be close. You know, I think the no building. Now he can't build his little palaces. I think I'll sniper him every time I get the shot. Like it's ridiculous.
You know, it's not even a question. Not even up for debate.
All right, guys. Well, load it up right now.
Listen, how about here's the challenge, Jordan. As the champion of Fortnite, you have to see me in Pokemon first. How about that? What do you mean? What I do? I didn't do it. All I was just stating facts. Let's run the one right now.
Right now.
All right,
Listen,
guys.
as the anime protagonist, you have to go through the journey first. So first you have to beat Steven, who's the second best. Then you have to beat Phil, who's the third best. Then you have to beat Zach and Ian, who are tied for 4th and 5th. And you have to beat Simon, who's your eternal rival, first and foremost.
You gotta go. Bro, you remember old school Mortal Kombat where you had to like go up the tower? Like you can't hit Jay. That's Shao Kahn, my guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like your biggest hurdle right now is Simon. I think you should focus on Simon more than like us at the moment. I just think it just suits you better. 2 players of equal skill going head to head.
I just realized honestly. Oh yeah, when he plays Simon, I just realized I didn't give you guys my predictions for semis and finals. So I think that Jay beats Brian. I think that Mike.
Fuck Baltimore.
I think
out here.
Mike.
Fuck Maryland.
I think Mike beats Daniel. No offense to those players. So it becomes a Mike J finals, and I'm just gonna go with your boy, my main man Jay. I think Jay takes it home this year.
I'll take it. I should have taken it home last year, but then Zach with his little like fucking like voodoo decided, you know what? I'm gonna curse him.
You know how mad I'm gonna be if Zach wins again? Because like that would be 2 3-time champs.
Well,
no, the 3-time.
It's like what's next? Jordan wins the next 2 seasons?
Hell no. I mean,
not like this. My guy just caught a whole flurry of bullets. Now he's just catching strays.
Bro, he has a potential to win this season too. So like he could get his second chip, and then we have 2 champs.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Good one.
Well, if you don't make it to finals, then he has a chance.
Listen, my prediction is the winner of this season is gonna come out of the left side of the bracket. I don't know who it may be, but either the four of myself, Zach, Jay Wade, or
Brian.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those four. I think the champion is gonna be picked from the left side of the bracket. I think the right side of the bracket sucks. No offense, whoever's on the right side of the bracket. I'm fucking with y'all.
Just weak-willed.
I wouldn't say all that. Damn, come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
You guys aren't mentally tough.
Alright, guys. We'll see you next week. If it has to be on... Oh, wow. This is a Super Smash Bros. Stream. If it has to be on Monday for Jay to attend or whatever, we'll let you guys know when the stream is for next week. But it is going to be playoffs. Playoffs is a best 2 out of 3. And... you guys will need to record those matches, hopefully. So potentially, let's see, if everybody were to record, let me do the math here. If everybody were to record and everybody went 3 matches, that's 12 possible matches.
I think it should be because Dan and Brendan don't have a card. Jay Wade and Brian don't have a card, so it's probably gonna be at most 4 matches, at least 6, because Zach and me can record, and Jordan and Mike can record. So it's gonna be at most possibly 6, at least 4.
Yeah, but Brendan and Dan might actually borrow Speakman's capture card or go over to his house for him to record it. So we might get that one. And Brian has the same possible luxury, but I doubt we're gonna get 2 more replays from Maryland. We're gonna get you and Zach. And then we're going to get Mike and Jordan for sure. So that's a minimum of 4 matches, maximum of 6 with just those players. And then potentially 9 matches if Dan and Brendan borrow. And potentially 12 if Brian is able to also borrow the card. So really, it's going to be a long one next week. So...
But get some snacks, get comfy, drink a lot of water, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the stream. I really appreciate my co-commentators, Jay.
Yo.
Thank you so much for coming. And Zach, thank you for coming in after your grocery trip.
Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
I'm good to play you in a little scrim if you want.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, let's do that.
I'm being myself as a boss.
Yeah, I forgot about that shit. All right, so maybe a 2-night stream. Yeah, that might be.
Honestly, that's something.
It's 6:51. I'm down to do 1 multi-battle if Jordan is free.
Jordan, you want to do a multi-battle? You guys want a multi-battle?
I saw it and it actually looked really fun.
Dude,
so like,
me, Jordan, and Steven had so much fucking fun doing that. And
I'm down.
Yeah, let's do that. At a point, actually, like, Jordan dropped out, and me and Steven were like, let's try to do it again. And we had to enter without a code and get matched up together, and we did it like 8 times.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I'm down.
All right, you guys get set up. I'm gonna pause the stream and reopen it under a new title, and we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
I had to piss. Oh wait, I didn't turn off the stream.
He's like, yes, I prepared all my life for this.
I forgot to. Yeah. Oh, you can't hop on mic? Okay. Alright, well.